All right, guys, welcome back. It has been a while since I posted a video. Last year ended just insanely, and it started off insane too. I was working like crazy. My girlfriend broke her arm in a car accident, and the holidays were here, and then I've still been working like crazy between my job and between my coffee business, which is what this is mostly about. So it has been absolutely insane. And I haven't had time to sit down and do a video or make like TikToks and stuff like that, but I'm trying to get back on the horse now. Yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of a year in review for 2025 since that was my first full year of doing business as owning my own business, which is the coffee roasting business. I have a website. I ship across the country. And I wanted to share some of the things, some of the lowlights, highlights, some of the things I learned, some of my goals for 2026. If you're vaguely interested in me or my business, or you have your own business, it could be interesting to you. It's some of this is going to sound like advice. It's not necessarily advice. It's just my lessons or my experience with having a business, like a consumer product business that I sell online and in person and in stores too. So take it with a grain of salt. I always say advice is not universal. Like it doesn't fit everyone. I think the internet kind of can trick you into thinking that you need to be a certain way. If you haven't been so successful at a certain age already, you're screwed. You need to be focusing on these things, and you need to do this a certain way. And it can become very confusing mentally. So one of my points I want to make is just shutting out the noise. But anyway, I want to get started. We just got back from vacation. It is snowing outside. If you're in the Midwest, you are sitting tight and hoping your power doesn't go out. It's freezing cold and it's snowing a lot. So sorry if I'm a little rusty. I am not used to talking so much, and I have not made a video in a while, so it might be a little all over the place. But 2025, crazy year. Horrible year at the start, great year-ish in the end, business-wise. So I'll just go through it. I want to try to focus on the positives because there's so much negative energy out there, and people really love putting negative things out there and scaring you because it'll get some attention. I'm going to try not to do that. But beginning of last year, got laid off like 2 weeks into January. That was a huge shock, extremely stressful, painful. It was confusing. I immediately went into panic mode with my business and with job searching. So I was applying to just an insane amount of jobs. I know I applied to well over 1,000 jobs over the course of whatever it was, 6-7 months or so. Brutal process, and I know a lot of people were and maybe are still going through that, but that was maybe the worst. The first half of that year was maybe up there with the worst in my life, but I went into like that kind of panic. It helped propel my business in certain ways. I started reaching out to people like crazy, like other, like stores and coffee shops and businesses in the area to try to get my product in there, or for them to taste it, or for them to sell it, or for them to serve it. And I had a small bit of success that slowly grew by the end of the year. I'm not like a huge business. I haven't, I'm not a huge success story yet, but I'm in a pretty decent spot right now, and I have a pretty solid footing to help get me to the next level, I feel. But yeah, I went into overdrive just with making videos, TikToks, just whatever stupid thought I was having or thinking about business or whatever. I was making videos, and I just went crazy. And it wasn't super successful. I didn't get like a ton of new customers and followers and blah blah blah. But it did help. I did get new customers and new like coffee subscribers that subscribe every month to get their coffee shipped to them. I got in a couple stores. I got in a coffee shop, and and I ended up getting a new like full-time job before the end of the year, probably around October or so. So since then I've been insanely busy with work and the coffee business, and haven't had time to make videos and try to grow the business, but hoping things are kind of settling down now after the holidays and coming back from vacation. I am going to be putting a little more energy, effort into videos and connecting with other creators and trying to get partnerships and stuff like that. That's one of my goals for 2026. I'm going a little all over the place. I was hoping to do these a section at a time, but I wanted to review 2025 start with the bad. Went into overdrive, got in a few stores, got in a coffee shop. I did a farmer's market every week in the summer and the fall, which was awesome. I met a ton of people, new people who were interested in my coffee. I served cold brew there. I sold bags of coffee. It was great cash flow for the business, and it got word out there, and it was just great to be in front of people. By the end of the year, farmers market stopped, but I was doing more. I'm doing more wholesale orders, and I'm picking up the online orders too, through just like online videos, and I have an ad running, and I'm kind of all over the place, which is kind of helping me to like funnel people to my website and to the coffee, just from a ton of different sources. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. I kind of mentioned some of this already. Lessons from the last year. And again, don't take these necessarily advice, but they could be helpful for you. Your relationships with people, other businesses, customers are super important. Don't shut yourself off and think that things are just going to come to you automatically. Your relationships with people and being good to people and helping them, and sometimes going above and beyond, that stuff will really benefit you in the long run. And people want to do business with people they like, and they want to buy stuff from people they like and they trust, and they think they're getting a good product from and a good deal. So just try to maintain those relationships and be a genuine person, I guess. The next thing, I kind of already mentioned this, but I've been learning that being everywhere you possibly can be is obviously a great thing. Like getting your, if you have a business or a brand, just trying to be everywhere. Like for me, so far in the past year, I'm just still starting out. It was the farmer's market. It was having a sign in front of the building that I roast my coffee at, the facility. And then on the internet, being on all the different social medias, to varying degrees, posting on, the Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and doing different types of content. And then having my website, and then trying to have that look good and be optimized. Doing ads. I'm doing ads on Google and trying to get people to my website. I have a little pop-up the first time you go to my website. That's for you sign up, you get the for the email, you get a 15% off code. And I rarely email people. I just put out my second email in a year, because I don't like to bother people. I don't really like getting marketing emails, so I want to be really careful about the way I do that. But I do want to remind people, I'm here, and share updates that might be interesting to them, as long as it feels personal and it's actually worth reading. Then I'll continue doing that. But the idea is just kind of have a web of sources that people might see you on, and to bring them into your thing, so that maybe they'll buy something, or even if they don't buy something, at least they're aware of it, or they're maybe interested down the line, or they might tell someone about it. It's all this stuff. It feels very hectic and a lot to keep up with it, but it's also a very long-term thing, I guess. So the results are not immediate in any way. And I'm sure there's better ways of doing it. I'm sure people could sell you a course and try to get you 1,000 customers in a month or something. I don't know. I don't do that stuff. But I'm not the best business person. I'm just a guy trying to figure it out. The other thing, at first, I used to be self-conscious about having not a lot of followers, and I used to worry that it wouldn't, I need to get followers so that people see me as successful and that I actually get more customers. But that's not always, having a lot of followers and having a large following for your brand doesn't necessarily translate to a lot of customers. There are tons of brands out there that don't have any social media, but just sell on Amazon or they just run ads on a platform and then they just get customers that way, or they're just in a store, or there's a million ways to do business. The point is, I guess, to not be self-conscious or to be anxious about having a low follower count, because what's really more important is having a good product, having your relationships, getting in front of people, and then when you do make content, try to make good content that people engage with or think is interesting, or that you think is genuine or interesting, or you're sharing your story or whatever. I think that's more important than having a lot of followers. And yeah, you can have low followers and have a ton of business, or you can have a ton of followers and not have any business. So yeah, just depends what you want to do, I guess. Obviously for me, long term, I'd like to have a large follower base, I guess, for my business, but it's not the most important thing in the world. The other thing I learned last year was to have these kind of go hand in hand. It's having some kind of balance, between work and then relax time. I really overworked myself towards the end of the year, and it kind of killed me. So I probably should have allowed myself to separate from work and coffee business stuff and just relax more, because I probably would have felt more recharged and more energetic to do these things. But at the same time, I don't know if I would have gotten to where I got if I hadn't just killed myself in the process. So that's a tough thing to figure out. At the same time, you want to be as organized as possible. I'm a really organized person, and I don't think I could do anything if I weren't as organized. I am a religious note taker and scheduler, and there's a million things you have to prioritize throughout the day, throughout the week, the month, for all the different things you're doing, and just keeping track of everything and staying on top of everything is huge, to just being able to do stuff. It also helps me relax. If I'm organized and I know what I have to do in the next week, I can take a few hours in the evening and just shut my brain off, because I know it's just, I wrote it down somewhere, it's waiting for me, I can worry about it the next day, if that makes sense. The other lesson I learned, this isn't that big, but it's really important to get reviews for your product. I think that kind of helps things snowball too, because when you're bringing people into your website, and they're just a new person, maybe they clicked on your ad, they don't know what they're looking at. You kind of need, a review or two at least, to give them some confidence, as to what they're looking at, what they're getting into, and to know they're not, know they're getting something good, if they do decide to buy it. At first, about a year or so ago, it was, one or two family friends would leave a review. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure that helped other people, new people, to have the confidence to purchase it. And they would leave a review, and that'd be great. I don't have any sort of strategy or scheme for getting people to or leave reviews. Maybe if I were smarter, I would, but I don't. Okay, looking forward to 2026. Sorry, this is a longer video than I thought, but 2026, I'll try to go through this quick. I want to focus on more videos, especially on YouTube and TikTok. Maybe some different style of videos on YouTube that aren't just me talking. That could be more like engaging and like, you know, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know, like, oh, we're doing this today, oh, or like vlogs. That could be interesting. But I want to try new things along those lines and see if it's feels good for me and is if people want to watch it. I want to do more partnerships, like sponsorships. I want to find other creators and influencers that I think are cool and that fit with the my brand, and I want to try to get things going, like do a partnership with them and pay them to show off the product or get a percentage of the sales or whatever. I really want to try to figure that out this year. It was one of my goals for last year, but it kind of got pushed to the side. More ads. I want to get better at. I'm doing Google ads. I tried a little bit of Facebook ads. It really didn't work very well. I think the Google ads right now are, I'm at least getting some of my money back from that. So, keep doing that, improve on that. Maybe I'll try, like Facebook, Instagram again, but you have to be really good at it to, and use a certain strategy to be successful in that, which I wasn't very good at. So I'd have to maybe recalibrate and then go back to that if I want to try that again. I want to sponsor live events, like sporting events or like maybe gaming events or just stuff like that. Yeah, I'm thinking about different stuff. Yeah, I would love to do some kind of maybe like an eating event or like a Renaissance fair type of thing. That I don't know, all that stuff. I feel like I can get involved in, get my name in front of people, maybe be there to maybe serve coffee or something, or like just do a sponsored, have my banner and my name in some kind of televised event. Those are dreams of mine that I'm sure will happen someday, if not this year. Of course, I want to expand on my coffee offerings. I want to add more origins, more roast levels, just more products. Right now I have 4. I have the Guatemalan, Ethiopian, and the Nicaraguan. The Nicaraguan is a medium and dark roast, so it's 4. There's like my core products right now. But there's so many amazing coffees in the world. There's so many more from Central America and South America and Africa and South Asia. There's so many great places. I'm half Indian, so I would love to have an Indian coffee. I don't yet, but there's some really interesting coffees come out of India, so that would be cool too. And I want to update the website. I probably need to take new product photos, get better descriptions. I need to add more. I want to add, get some videos taken of like the coffee roasting process and like embed those in the website and have more informational pages and more blog posts about just coffee and me and my business. All that stuff, little improvements here and there. We'll see. Maybe by the end of 2026, things will be totally different. Anyway, closing thoughts. Some of my overall thoughts, things I've learned, and kind of what I'm thinking right now. And this might be kind of advicey, but put your head down, drown out the noise. There's a ton of noise out there, and a lot of it is really shitty. I get on like X, for example, and I almost need to just delete the app because it stresses me out when I get on there. I mean, I'll get on there and I'll see people talking about business and money, and then you need to have like $1 million by the time you're 30, and if you don't, you're screwed, or like, here's how you absolutely need to do this to make $2,000 a day, and then it's like everything is going, the whole world is going to end, the stock market is going to crash, America's going to fall, and like World War III, and like you can let these things stress you out, or you can just ignore them and live your life and build your business and relax and go outside. It's up to you. Yeah, and along those lines, there are so many people that say you need to get into this business and this business, and you need to do this and do this if you want to earn $100,000 a month. Like, yeah, go for it if you want to hate your life, or if you're okay hating your life just to make money. If my philosophy is do something important to you and do something you find interesting, even if you don't make a ton of money at first, your life will be way more fulfilling that way, and you'll actually contribute to the world, which is what you really should be, I think, focused on. You want to look back at your life and know that you contributed or built something, or for me, there's a bunch of things I want to do that I think will actually be valuable in the long run for people, but I don't know. And then lastly, I kind of already mentioned this, but try to drown out all the negativity and all the doom and gloom and the fear, especially in the news and the internet. A lot of it is so negative. Go outside, go for walks, even if it's cold. Go try doing new stuff. Go talk to people. There's a million positive things happening every day. Like, go out and talk to people and interact, and everyone's trying their best. Everyone's trying to do their jobs and enjoy their lives, and most of the time they want to talk to you if you're friendly. I don't know if this is making sense, but there's just a million awesome things happening every day, and you can tap into that and you can be part of it, or you can sit back and not do anything, and you can post critiques on your phone about how everything's horrible. So that's up to you. That's all I got. That was my 2025. That's what I'm hoping to do in 2026. And some preachy stuff. Sorry about that, but I'm a little rusty on this. I'm going to try to up my YouTube game this year, and I think that's it. I'm going to go relax. It's Saturday. It's snowing here. I'm going to go enjoy it, and hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, and try some of my coffee too. It's good stuff. All right, bye.